Mike Bohn here at RVCA Training Center with Jalin Turner, who's fighting Mateusz Gamrot next week at UFC 285. And Jalin, I feel like we're starting to have a little pattern here. Past two fights, I've been in here the week before your fight week, and we've talked. We've had some pretty good results. Maybe I'm like your good luck charm.
I mean, we could look at it that way, but I mean, I've had a few other good luck charms before that too. So I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Are you a superstitious guy or not really?
Loosely, yeah. I'm not super superstitious, but there's a couple little things like I pay attention to.
You're a little stitious. I think that's the line from The Office.
Perfect. A little stitious, yeah.
There you go. I mean, obviously a huge one coming up for you. You're supposed to be fighting Dan Hooker. You got Gamrot. I mean, were you happy with this change? It's a higher ranked opponent, maybe not the same name value, so to speak, but it can do more for your career, it feels like.
Yeah, I'm just happy he stepped up. Somebody stepped up. I wanted to stay on the card. I could have sat back and waited for somebody else on another card, but I was like, I just wanted to stay on 285, so they made it happen.
Yeah, you look at the lay of the land. I mean, I don't think there's much better options they could have found you in this circumstance. Did they give you multiple opponents, or was this the main one that kind of stood out?
He's the only one that stepped up. Nobody else wanted to fight me on this card. They didn't want that 3-week notice fight. So, I took the challenge. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Was it disappointing when you heard Dan was out? Because obviously that was a big fight too, and then you're left in kind of a state of limbo. Was the few days in between figuring out who was stepping in a little frustrating?
Yeah, it got to me a little bit, but I didn't let it make me fold or anything. I was just like, whatever. I ate a little bit more food, and then I was happy. And then I got back to training, I just stayed consistent, stayed in the gym. I didn't worry about it too much. They said they'd find me somebody, so they found me somebody.
What do you make of Mateusz? Obviously, he's coming off a tough loss against Benihil, but he's had a pretty good account of himself in the UFC so far. Former champion in KSW, he's done some good things.
He's a good opponent. He's gonna come in, try to shoot, try to wrestle. So I already kind of expected that from Dan a little bit. So I was a little bit prepared. So it's just another fight. I'm ready to take on whoever wants to step up, and I always showcase it every time.
I think you're showing that these guys, if they want to shoot with you, they want to grapple, they better protect their neck, right?
Yeah, I done worked in it for the last couple of years a lot, so I'm ready to showcase everything I've been working on. So, who else to do it against than Gamrot? High-level grappler, that's his game, that's his game plan, that's his go-to. He's gonna try to take me down. So, all right, let's see how much I've improved.
Yeah. Would you still want to do the Dan Hooker fight at some point, or if you win this one, do you feel like you're a little bit beyond that then?
Honestly, I feel like I'm beyond that at this point. Man, I gotta leave those guys alone, man. I love Israel. I fuck with Izzy. I fuck with City Kickboxing, so I don't want to keep any animosity between them. It's just business, you know what I mean? I'd rather train with them than keep trying to fight these guys. So that's how I feel.
Maybe you head out there. Have you ever been to New Zealand?
Yeah, I fought in New Zealand. I think it was 4 years ago.
Oh, you were on that card.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just got back from Perth. That was a long trip out there, though, man.
Yeah, I wanted to fight in Perth. I wanted to fight on that card. If it was Dan, I'd asked for that fight, but I don't know what happened, and got lost in translation. And then we went back and forth on Twitter, and then the fight got made. So it is what it is.
What did you think of the fight between Makhachev and Volkanovski? Did you think it was scored properly, and what did you think of, both their performances?
They both did good. Makhachev's striking looked good, but also he fought, somebody smaller, a lot smaller than him, so it's easier for him to kind of look good in the striking department. And, but Volkanovski impressed me. He did his thing. He held in with the grappling. He shut down a lot of takedowns, got his own takedown. He looked really good. So I feel like the fact that Volkanovski looks so good against someone that's been dominant in the grappling aspect makes it seem like he should have got his hand raised. And I personally think he should have got his hand raised, but it was still close. It was a close call. Islam never was out of the fight, but so yeah, however it went is however it went. I'm no judge. I'll just watch and see who's my next opponent. That's all I'm focused on.
When you watch the title fight in your division, what does that do for you? Does it be is it really motivating to be hey, I'm not that far from that, or do you kind of just look at it as hey, I'm just watching some fights on Saturday?
I'm not too far from that.
Yeah.
I feel get this win, do it impressively, and I'm knocking on another door. We'll see however many fights they want to give me until I knock on that title fight opportunity. You know, I'm still here. I'm trying to kick that door down. So we're here.
I feel like the next step after this one might be the most challenging, just in terms of getting opponents, right? Like I've heard a lot of lightweights in your position being like that top 5, you know, the Chandlers, Gaethjes, Fiziev, like it's hard to get a fight with them. Poirier, is that kind of what you're thinking? Like might be the biggest struggle to make the step from a win like this to the title shot?
Definitely going to be the biggest struggle. You know what I mean? I feel like the only person that would give the opportunity like right away would be Beneil, but he's going to fight Oliveira, so I'm pretty sure if he wins that fight, he'll be next in line for the title. So then that'll leave a lot of fighters in limbo. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of us in the top 10, hungry, ready to like crack that top 5. You know, but you know it's just about waiting for the opportunity to do it.
Sure. Well, it seems like you're mentally in the right place and everything. So we're just a little over a week out from the fight. Looking forward to seeing you in Vegas and, of course, in the octagon again.
Yeah, man. I'm always mentally ready, physically ready. I'm ready to go put on a show, step back in my office. It's been a long time coming. So I'm ready to go showcase what I've been working on.
Let's go, man. Looking forward to it.
Always. Let's do it.